Nice, low profile. Oh no, he gets clipped, counter hit, and he's into the corner.
Logan, here it comes, Logan, here it comes.
He needs one more hit, you know.
That might be stunned. Not quite, still alive. Wow! No! Oh, no!
It's no doubt about it. He made history. Now the only question that remains is he gonna take it one step further to make it a legend?
Because he's always improving, and he's in that age where he's learning super fast. He's a super smart kid, and he has a character that not everyone plays. And he's definitely the best Ed in the world. Who knows? He might be the best. He's making a case for coming into the. I'm not gonna say it. I was okay. He might be the best. Like he's showing. He might be the best. I can't say it. He might be the best player in the world right now. He's making a case for it.
I mean, now I'm watching the birth of a champion.
The last few years brought about many things for the FGC. Even though we were all forced to stay home for a while, some good things came out of it. The rise of rollback netcode, an influx of content creation based around the games we all love, and a whole bunch of exposure for the community's online warriors and players who could never make it out to big offline tournaments. Lots of them have risen to stardom and made upsets against the usual contenders for a top 8. But there's one player who's shown us online results do matter, and they matter in a big way. You've seen the thumbnail, so you know I'm talking about Ending Walker, the online prodigy of Europe. At just his second offline tournament, he won it all over Punk, Angry Bird, and Mr. Crimson. All three of them are world class and have been competing for years. 2 of them have even been considered best in the world. But it's not just beginner's luck. Ending Walker has been going on a tear since he picked up the game, and it's easy to see from his results. Let's break some of those down. Ending Walker first made a name for himself in the UK and Ireland CPT of 2021. As a newcomer to the Pro Tour, his name in top 16 was no small accomplishment and an early sign of things to come. On stream, he won his first match convincingly against Youth TTM in losers after being sent there by Problem X.
Walker, maturity beyond his years. We've seen Youth TTM make runs in weekly tournaments like this. We've not seen Ending Walker on a stage like this. To perform the way he did in that victory, 2-0, convincing win. What an Ed.
His next match on stream, he lost to Infectious swiftly. But it was clear the kid was learning as the match went on. After this, the world was aware of Ending Walker, but were they ready?
Infectious, I'll tell you what, massive shout out Ending Walker. That was not free by any means, but he bows out of the tournament. The young talent is one we must keep our eye on. Infectious, keeping the script as it should be, booking his place.
A valorant effort there from Ending Walker, I have to say. It was he got a good fight.
Just 2 months after his CPT debut, Ending Walker put the world on notice in the next CPT bracket in December. After defeating Jones and Pools, he was sent to the losers bracket by Infectious in winner's quarters.
One last potential decision.
Out of the corner, Infectious staying very aggressive at this point and catching him with the crouch medium kick.
In losers, he went on to defeat Bolt Strike, Shivs, and Hurricane, before finally meeting his match again, Problem X, who brought an end to his run at a solid 4th place. An incredible finish to just his second outage.
Walker's habit, down to just a grab or not. And Ending Walker was maybe looking for the tech, maybe looking for the jump, whatever it was, is not enough. It's Problem X who takes it 3 games to 1. So look, we talked about how Problem X is capable.
Problem X and Infectious roadblock was something he needed to overcome to reach that next level of competition, but it's much easier said than done. Infectious went on to win that CPT tournament and has made it to EVO Winners Finals. Problem X is an EVO and Red Bull Kumite champion, regarded as the best in the world for a time. Taking both of them down would essentially mean becoming the king of his region.
Red Bull Las Vegas Kumite champion, Problem X.
The story starts to shift after the first half of the year. June 12th, he gets first place in a stacked Salt Mine bracket. July 16th, Ending Walker takes Salt Mine League World Warrior #1 over Hurricane, 3-1.
Not just beating Hurricane 3-0 in winners finals, but repeating the victory 3-1 in grands. The studying and the practice has paid off.
From there, August 13th, Ending Walker wins CPT World Warrior #2 with a strong performance against Shats after a bracket reset. This makes 2 ranking events in a row. Less than a week later, Versus Fighting 10 begins and Ending Walker attempts his first offline major tournament. He goes down to Punk 3-1 in a great winners finals set and is sent home by Jester Power in losers finals to take a well-deserved 3rd place. We'll come back to this performance in a bit.
Oh, what a block from Punk.
Oh, and that's it. Punk takes it over Ending Walker in the winners final, 3-1. Interesting stuff there. Do you know what? I like that as a kind of a teaser as to probably what's to come in the future. If these guys get to be at the same event more often, I like that.
Sometimes foreshadowing is relatively obvious.
A few weeks later, September 10th, Another shutdown performance against Problem X in the grand finals of the third World Warrior event after a reset. It started to become clear that Ending Walker can't be stopped. He's won every Saltmine League bracket except one that he's entered since that first World Warrior, and he shows no sign of slowing down. October 1st, another World Warrior win over Soundboy, one step later than Problem X. And November 6th, he puts on an even more aggressive performance.
Congratulations to Ending Walker winning Saltmine League, Capcom Pro Tour, World Warrior 2022, UK and Ireland number 5.
In fact, his performance is pretty much unprecedented compared with the rest of the world as well. He's got a perfect World Warrior record, which only one other player in the world has, and that's Vegapatch. On top of that, his region is immensely more competitive. It's really easy to just say that and not show you anything, so let me actually show you some results. Problem X has won EVO, a super major with some of the best players in the world, and Red Bull Kumite. Infectious has major top 8s such as Celtic Throwdown, EGX, and Versus Fighting. Hurricane won EVO Online over the likes of Mr. Crimson, Ryan Hart, and Luffy from Winners Bracket. He also placed 5th at Red Bull Kumite London over Tokido, Gachikun, and Smug. There's so many other killers in this region who don't travel, but hopefully my point makes sense. Vegapatch isn't fighting people with those results, so to have a perfect qualifying record in a region like this is not something anyone expected to see. As we approach the pinnacle of this young player's journey, we've got to take a look at Walker's performance at UFA on November 11, 2022. On his way to Winners Finals, he took out Kills You, Angry Bird, and Mr. Crimson to meet Pump. The last time they met, Ending Walker played a bit desperate. He was looking for Psycho Knuckles to cover his approach, and he couldn't find a solid way to start his offense. He had to do something different this time.
See our keywords here, because he ran into Punk, right, in Versus Fighting, and Punk stopped him with the call-in.
He whipped at least 7 Psycho Knuckles to bait something from Punk, and fully charged 6 more of them that were punished at Versus Fighting. Walker was uncomfortable at a further mid-range, and he didn't know how to deal with it. The punishes were huge too. He gets clipped here, and here, and he loses big chunks of his life and all of his momentum.
But he has had time to adapt to that set. Look at what he's doing, and he's improved a lot, even like the last 3 weeks, because he's always improving, and he's in that age where he's learning super fast. He's a super smart kid, and he has a character that not...
Look at how much closer the whiffs are at UFA, and he was a whiff punish for this once. He also landed many more on his block, demonstrating his understanding of where he wanted to stand. This time, only a single knuckle got stuffed and punished. He found the flaw in his play and made it a strength. Punk was clearly looking to backdash or jump fully charged knuckles, but not to whip punish the half-charged ones. Walker used this to his advantage in the mid-range, and it dictated the whole offense. This, coupled with a better usage of V-trigger routes, led to a strong result in his run back against Punk. After this, all that was left was Grand Finals. Once again, Walker put on an absolute clinic of how to play the Ed vs Chun-Li matchup. Valmaster couldn't seem to find solid footing at any point to counter Ending Walker's plans. He was whiff punishing Stand Fierce, he was crouching under Stand Roundhouse, and was determined to take the throw once V-Trigger was active on Valmaster's side. To top it all off, he ended the tournament with a raw EXDP that landed with absolute certainty. He was in everyone's heads and it showed big time.
Throw will do it. Yeah, throw will do it. Oh, man. That was vulgar. His Psycho Spark needs one more hit, you know. That might be stunned. Not quite still alive. Wow! No! Oh, no!
And now we've reached the full culmination of everything up to this point, ending Walker's true final challenge to end 2022. The World Warrior UK/Ireland final. He qualified with a perfect record, but it wouldn't mean anything if he couldn't close it out here. After defeating Mapulapo and Muscledoo, he went down to loser's bracket at the hand of Shax 3-2.
Yeah, that would have been a safe jump.
Actually, every set in this bracket before Grand Finals went down 3-2, except one, ending Walker versus Problem X in Losers Finals. The set went down 3-1, and Ending Walker once again showed dominance over Problem X as he has all season.
The two have played over 18 sets, and for all time, they have an even tournament set record. But if we look at just the 2022 season, it's a different story. Out of the last 11 sets they've played, Ending Walker took 8 of them. That's a 72% win rate over a player who was king of the world just last year. Not only that, but half of those sets went 3-0. To put that into perspective, nobody in the world has a set record like this against Problem. Closest is Infectious, and he's only at 50%. We are actually watching history in the making.
And it's a perfect. You can't say anything else other than that. What a statement.
He ends losers final, eliminating Problem X, one of historically the most successful players in the country, in the region that he's competing in now, with a perfect round.
The new generation Street Fighter is here. Not just with Street Fighter 6 on the horizon, but these new players are rising to the top meteorically, and nobody can slow them down. Between players like Kawano, Ending Walker, and DCQ, showing up seemingly out of nowhere to become kings of their regions, I've got a feeling there will be many more to come, and they're not going to be worried about leaving the rest of us in the dust. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.